Hello friends and welcome to my channel. Today we will be talking about the most talked G20 Summit. So, to start with, what is G20 Summit 2023? The G20 Summit 2023 in India is expected to bring a number of benefits to the country, including economic benefits. The summit is expected to generate billions of dollars in economic activity, both directly and indirectly. This will boost investment, create jobs, and stimulate economic growth. Let's talk about some background of G20. Originally, India was scheduled to host the G20 Summit in 2021 and Italy in 2022. At the 2018 G20 Buenos Aires Summit in Argentina, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said he had requested Italy to host the summit in 2021 and allow India to host it in 2022 on the occasion of the 75th year of India's independence. Italy agreed to let India host the G20 summit in 2022 in its place owing to the monument in the bilateral ties. However, after a request made by Indonesian Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi, India exchanged its presidency of the G20 with Indonesia because Indonesia would also chair the Association of the Southeast Asian Nations in 2023. Now let's talk about something about G20. The group of 20, that is G20, is the premier forum of international economic cooperation. It plays an important role in shaping and strengthening global architecture and governance on all major international economic issues. India holds the presidency of the G20 from 1st December 2022 to 30th November 2023. The inception of G20, it was founded in 1999 after the Asian financial crisis as a forum for the finance ministers and central bank governors to discuss global economic and financial issues. In 2008, elevation to leaders level. The G20 was upgraded to the level of heads of state government in the wake of global economic and financial crisis of 2007 and in 2009 was designated the premier forum for international economic cooperation. The G20 Summit is held annually under the leadership of rotating presidency. The G20 initially focused largely on broad macroeconomic issues, but it has since expanded its agenda to inter alia include trade, sustainable development, health, agriculture, energy, environment, climate change, and anti-corruption. Let's talk about the G20 members. The group of 20, that is G20, comprises of 19 countries. It includes India, Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, United Kingdom, and United States, and the European Union. The G20 members represent around 85% of the global GDP, over 75% of the global trade, and about 2/3 of the world population. The invitees for this G20 2023 are Bangladesh, Egypt, Mauritius, Netherlands, Nigeria, Oman, Singapore, Spain, and UAE. How does G20 works? The G20 presidency steers the G20 agenda for 1 year and hosts the summit. The G20 consists of two parallel tracks, the finance track and the Sherpa track. Finance ministers and central bank governors lead the finance track, while Sherpas lead the Sherpa track after finance track. The G20 process from the Sherpa side is coordinated by the Sherpas of member countries, who are personal emissaries of the leaders. Finance track is led by the finance ministers and the central bank of governors of the member countries. Within the two tracks, there are thematically oriented working groups in which representatives from the relevant ministries of the members as well as from the invited or guest countries and various international organizations participate. The finance track is mainly led by the Ministry of Finance. These working groups meet regularly throughout the term of each presidency. The Sherpas oversee negotiations over the course of the year, discussing agenda items of the summit and coordinating the substantive work of the G20. Let's talk about the G20 presidencies. Last year in 2022, G20 presidency was with Indonesia. In 2023, it is with India. And next year, it will be with Brazil. India's presidency began on 1st December 2022, leading up the summit in the third quarter of 2023. The presidency handover ceremony was held in which the G20 presidency gavel was transferred from Indonesian President Joko Widodo to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the close of Bali Summit. Now let's talk about the agenda priorities for this G20 2023. G20 India has put forth 6 agenda priorities for the G20 dialogue in 2023. Number 1 is green development, climate, finance and life. Second, accelerated, inclusive and resilient growth. Third, accelerating progress on SDGs. Fourth, technological transformation and digital public infrastructure. Fifth, multilateral institution for the 21st century. Sixth, women-led development. And seventh, officials say African Union's inclusion in G20 may happen, giving it voting rights. G20 nations support this proposal. Decision is pending. It is one of the main agenda in Delhi G20 Summit. Now we'll talk about the expected participating leaders of each country. Number 1, our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, who is also hosting this G20 2023 Summit. Then, Argentina President Alberto Fernandez, Australia Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, Brazil President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, Canada Prime Minister Justin Pierre James Trudeau, China President Xi Jinping, France President Emmanuel Macron, Germany Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Indonesia President Joko Widodo, Italy Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, Japan Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, Mexico President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, Republic of Korea President Yoon Suk Yeol, Russia President Vladimir Putin, Saudi Arabia King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa, Turkey President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, United Kingdom Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, United States of America President Joseph R. Biden Jr., European Union President of European Council Charles Michel, President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen. G20 invitees are from Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Egypt President Abdel Fattah Said Hussein Khalil El-Sisi, Mauritius Prime Minister Pravind Kumar Jugnauth, Netherlands Prime Minister Mark Rutte, Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Oman Head of State Sultan Haitham bin Tariq, Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, Spain Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez, UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. In addition to the regular international organizations and chairs of regional organizations, India as G20 presidency will be inviting ISA, CDRI and ADB guests as guest IOs. Now, let's see where and when is this event happening. So the location is Pragati Maidan, New Delhi. Dates are Saturday 9 September 2023 and Sunday 10 September 2023. Chairperson Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India, and host country, of course, it is India. And the motto of this G20 is Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. Translation: One Earth, One Family, and One Future. That's all for today. For future updates, remain on our channel and be with us. Thank you so much for listening.